Start saving your paper towel rolls because I have a great craft project for you. You will need paper towel rolls, glue gun, glue sticks, you'll need some clear like fishing line, fishing wire. You'll need battery operated tea light candles, a paintbrush, probably a paper plate or something to put white acrylic paint on top of, and a little tool for poking. So I'll tell you what I did. So step 1 is done because I did it yesterday. But what you're going to do is you're going to take your glue gun, hot glue gun, right? Glue sticks, and you're going to drip glue across the top of just a regular paper towel holder. Now, once you're done, you will be cutting these to various lengths. But what you're making is candles. You are making flameless candles to hang from the ceiling. That's where the fishing wire comes in. So you can see here, it's dry, but I've just dripped hot glue around the outside to kind of look like candle wax melting. After you get this done, I did step 2, which was to poke holes in the sides and string some fishing line across the top. Now this is a pretty long one, and I just put a little like slip knot at the end right now, and they'll hang from the ceiling once they are assembled. So that is step 1 and 2. I have to finish step 2 right now, but step 3 is going to be painting them, and I will show you how we're going to paint them in just a second. I'm just using a paper plate to pour white acrylic paint onto. I'm using quite a bit because of the fact that I have 10 paper towel rolls to paint. I would use a pretty good sized brush personally because you'll get more coverage area. But you'll want to do the inside first, the bottom, because remember, you're going to be hanging these from the ceiling, so you will be able to see inside them a little bit. But as far up as you can go, I would just paint the inside at the bottom, like that. And then you're just going to paint the outside too. So I'm going to paint the bottom half of these for now in order to get a good coat of coverage, and also so that I can let the bottom half dry before I paint the top half so I have somewhere to hold it. But you'll want to paint over the wax too, or the glue, in order to get it all the way covered. So that's all we're going to do for now. That's step 3. Since I cut a whole bunch to size them down a little bit, I had some leftovers. And so I'm going to show you, I'm going to make some new ones with the hot glue gun. And I'm just really generously lining the top of the tube, trying to get a little bit on the inside too, along the top. And honestly, you go through probably about a glue stick or 2, depending on how much you want it to look like it's been burning for a long time. So I just go along the top, thicken it up, and you can see as it dries, it's going to move itself down as well. But you can kind of bubble it up there a little bit. And let it do its thing. Or if you want to draw some strands, you draw them down. Just keep in mind that they get thinner as they go down. And when you paint over it, it's going to look a lot more defined, obviously. So you can see I've just painted around the top of this. I am not painting the inside of the top because I'm going to be putting a tea light candle right down in here. I'm going to be using my hot glue gun again to get that to sit right in there how I want it to. But because the fishing wire is in there, It'll hold it up pretty well. But we'll have it sitting so that the flame is right at the top. And we'll be able to hang them soon. All right, the next step. So everything is painted all white. You can see I got everything lined up on my counter and I'm letting them dry. But my next step is going to be to add a little bit of texture, as in color texture. So I'm using a little bit of, this is, so my regular paint has been just a craft enamel, or non-enamel acrylic paint. I am adding a little bit of enamel paint. Enamel paint is just used usually to paint on glass and stuff like that, so it's a little bit of a more glossy finish. But I'm using a little bit of yellow, a little bit of brown, and a little bit of glitter, just to kind of let them sparkle a little bit. And I'm just gonna mix them into my white paint that I have already in order to give the candles a little bit of a antiqued ivory kind of color. And you can see I'm not going to use a lot of these paints, just a little bit of both, and then a little bit of glitter. And I'm going to mix that all around. And you know, they're not all going to be the same color. So if I run out of this paint, then I'll just add, I'll do the same thing with a little bit more white. And you can see I'm kind of making like a creamy ivory color for the second coat on these candles. So I hang them in my kitchen. I think I'm gonna hang them actually right above where I'm standing and working right now. So they'll be kind of right in the eye line of the kitchen. And you know, because I'm using tea lights and they have to be turned on and off, when you go to hang them from the ceiling, I mean, if there's somewhere I can't reach, then when the tea lights die, then the candles are no longer good. So I'm going to do this so that I can take the tea lights out and be able to turn them on and off. Final step, we have our painted, it's been painted a cream color, an ivory color after, and they're dry. The strings have already been poked through, so I know how long I'm supposed to have them. And the next step is going to be to place my candles in a good spot that I want them in. I'm going to have to be able to take them out to turn them off and on. So, they flicker, right? Where I want them to sit is kind of flush with the top, but knowing that I have the string underneath, and you know, it's a pretty good fit, but I don't want it to be, you know, I don't want them to fall straight through. So what I'm going to do is get my glue gun back out, and I'm going to take a little strip of glue on the inside so that they have something to grip onto, but not to seal to. So kind of right along where my string line is, I'm gonna put a row of glue inside. Again, this is just to give it a little bit of grip and something to sit on. So you can see the row of glue in there? And you want to make it, you know, thick enough that it's going to have something to grip onto, but not give it any room to fall through. So I'm just going to do that on a few. These are the ones I have that are dry right now. And before I do that, I just check the length of them, that they're centered with how I want them for my string, because I don't want them to be uneven when they go to hang. So because I'm going like right around where the depth of the tea light candle is. All right, so the glue on this first one has dried, and I'm just going to turn my tea light on and kind of move the paper towel holder around it a little bit, and it just will sit in there nicely now. And when it hangs from the ceiling, it will be glowing. It'll be a little candle glowing from the ceiling. Pretty exciting, right? Can't wait to show you what they look like hanging up.